Hello, viewers. Welcome to virtual counseling session with Swansea University. I'm Mohammad Rajamia, Managing Director of TCL Global. I'm joining you from Portsmouth, UK. TCL Global is a consultancy head office based in Portsmouth, UK. We have 5 offices around the world. We have our regional office in Saudi Arabia, Riyadh City. We have our another office in Kuwait City in Kuwait, and 2 offices in Bangladesh, Dhaka and Sylhet. And we are working over 70 UK universities. We are the official partners with them. TCL Global helped more than 3,000 students last year, and we are the largest education consultancy firm based in southeast of England. And our service is completely free of charge. I have a guest with me, Sohita Jain from Swansea University, and Sohita is the regional manager for the South Asia. Also, we got guest with us Joher Al-Jarim, country director for KSA, and Joher is joining from Riyadh. Thank you very much, Sohita, for joining us today.
Thank you.
So it will be nice to start with Sohita, a little bit overview, quick overview. We'll go more details when we'll start the presentations about the Swansea a little bit. Then we'll go more specific question. Is that okay? Yeah. So Sohita?
Yes, sure.
So about the lockdown and lots of students, actually the common question nowadays, what should we do? Should we apply? Whether we'll be able to come, or whether actually it will be the deferral or online classes. So can you please advise anything on it, Sohita?
Sure. Thank you, Mohammed. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today. So in terms of the question that Mohammed has just asked in terms of applying, so the applications are still open. You can go and apply. In terms of lockdown, we understand that you may not be able to obtain certain documents which are required. So we are currently flexible in terms of maybe LORs, wherein if you're not able to get in touch with your academics, or you can't go to your college because it's all locked down. So we are happy to accept that a little later. At a later stage, currently students can apply with their academic documents, their 10, 12 graduation mark sheets, and their statement of purpose, and we'll make a decision based on their current documents, give them a conditional offer, which will at least sort that process. So what we are advising students is to make sure that they're able to, go far ahead in their application as much as they can, so that once the lockdown opens, they have only limited things to do, and they do not have to really start their application from the beginning, which could be very tedious at that point of time. And also because a lot of students may be applying at that time, and the application decisions may get delayed because of the volume of applications we'll suddenly receive after the lockdown opens. So I would suggest students interested to start making their applications now, and if they are unable to give us a document which is required, they can let us know, and we consider their application on the basis of what they're providing us with.
Okay, thank
in
you.
terms of classes, the second question that you asked in terms of online classes or something. So the university intends to start a face-to-face session. We are very much preparing ourselves to have our sessions as scheduled in September. But again, the situation is really fluid, very volatile. We really don't know what will be happening in the coming weeks or coming months. So we are preparing for alternate scenarios wherein we could kind of delay the intake a little bit by a couple of months, or maybe start something in January. So currently the university is also looking at all possible options, and once that is decided, we will definitely inform all our students about it.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, viewers, thank you for joining us. So if you have any question, you can, I can see the question already coming. So if you have any question, please ask the question. We'll try to answer your question. And the viewers actually joining from the North Africa as well, from the Middle East, and from also from the South Asia, from Bangladesh especially. So Sohita, so we can go quickly for the presentations. Then after that, maybe we'll have a more specific questions. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I'll now give you a quick presentation about Swansea University, which covers most of the information that you would like to know now. So reasons to study at Swansea. Swansea is one of the top ranked universities in UK. We are top 30 in the UK, and we're the highest ranked university in Wales. So we've been named as Welsh University of the Year for 2019 as well as 2020. We rank pretty high in terms of student satisfaction. We are top 10. For graduate employability, we are top 5. We've also won an award to What Uni Student Choice Awards, and we were the winner for the year 2019. Our teaching excellence is gold, so we have been rated as gold for our on the teaching excellence framework, which is the highest rating for teaching standards. Also, Swansea is one of the most affordable cities in the UK. It's in Wales, so it's not very expensive. It's very affordable for students to stay. We were founded in 1920, so we are completing 100 years this year, and we have 2 campuses, one on a beach, one in a park, and both the campuses are very close to the city center. We have close to 21,000 students studying at the university in both campuses, and out of which 3,500 students are international. In terms of our location, you can see the map on the screen, and the green bit is Wales, and down on the south coast, Swansea is located. We are the second largest city in Wales, and we are just an hour away from the Wales International Airport, and just 3 hours from London by train. So students can arrive at Heathrow and then just drive down. We offer pickup services during enrollment period, so it is very, very easy to reach the university. This is our traditional campus called Singleton Park campus, which dates back to 100 years. We have our College of Arts and Humanities, Health and Human Sciences, Law, College of Science, and the medical school located here. It's a very beautiful green campus, as you can see. So it is located inside a park, as the name says, and it's a beautiful location. It's just by the sea, as you can see in the picture. The campuses are self-sufficient, so they have everything that is required for a student. We have accommodations on campus. We have supermarkets, clothing stores, and pizza restaurants. There's a mosque on this campus as well, and all the other facilities which are required. We have a data science lab, we have a law library, we have a center of nano health on this campus. Okay. The other campus, which is called Bay Campus, the newly built campus, it was built 5 years ago, and here we have our College of Engineering, School of Management, and our Department of Computer Science. Again, it's a very, very newly built and very well established campus in terms of infrastructure and facilities which are required for students studying engineering and computer sciences. We have a computational foundry, which is a big computer science research lab. We also have visual networking labs, we have visualization labs, data networking labs, and all the other facilities which are required for students to study the subject areas which are taught on this campus. Also, again, as I said, self-sufficient campuses. So we have accommodations, libraries, sports facilities, supermarkets, bus station, very close to the campus.
Okay.
And also, this campus is located on the beach. So Bay Campus, after this was built, we are the closest university to a beach in the world. So this campus has a personal beach available to students who are studying on this campus. A lot of sports facilities for students. We have 60 different sports teams, including 2 cricket teams. You can see these are world-class facilities which are available for students interested in sports. A lot of water sports and beach sports facilities. As a city, it's a very vibrant city, and our campuses are very close to the city center, which has more than 230 shops and a very beautiful market. There are a lot of cultural places that students can visit. There are very beautiful beaches very close to the city, just half an hour away from the city, that students can visit. So it's a very, very beautiful place to study. It's very green. It has beaches. It has mountains. Very beautiful. And also, because we are a coastal city, we have a very beautiful maritime quarter. And our football club is also very popular. So a lot of things for students to do when you come down to the university. Again, some very beautiful pictures of the city. In terms of the teaching, we teach a range of subject areas that you can see here. I'll just quickly go one by one. So we have management and business. We teach everything starting from accounting, finance, business analytics, economics, marketing, tourism, operation supply management, and human resources. Also, all our courses are accredited by the relevant professional bodies, as you can see on the screen. Then engineering and computing is another area which is taught at the university, which is one of the top ranked areas that we teach, one of the strongest areas that we teach. And we teach all the areas related to engineering. As you can see, aerospace, chemical, civil, electronic and electrical, mechanical, materials, and also for sciences, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, data science, and nanotechnology. So, and again, you can see all the courses are accredited by the relevant bodies. We have courses in engineering and computing, which are 2 years. So these are courses with MSc, with a year in industry, wherein you are, if you get admission into this program, you will have a study year and a work placement year. These are the 5 courses which are available with 1 year in industry. And you will either do an industry placement or you will do an industry focused project, which is with the university. So this is, again, it is an opportunity available for students who would like to gain some kind of work experience after they finish their postgraduate program.
So Sweta, the student, sorry, back to is a placement, is a guaranteed placement, yeah? The course.
So
educated.
it's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed, but we will provide all the support and guidance to our students in terms of gaining a placement. So what happens is that we cannot really guarantee with an employer that a student will definitely get the opportunity to stay and work with them. What we basically do is to prepare yourself to get the right kind of opportunity, to make sure that the students are connected to the employer. They are able to get interviews arranged with the employer. See, we have a dedicated careers and employability department within the faculty and also within the university, which helps students in terms of finding the right kind of opportunity for themselves. So nobody can really guarantee, but yes, we will make sure that we are able to provide full support and guidance to the students for this.
So in this case, sorry, the students will have like a 2 years, 4 months visa, correct? With this following.
Yes, when they apply, they will have 2-year visa plus 4 months. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Then law. We offer LLB at the undergraduate level, and then we have a range of LLM programs that you can see on the screen. We also offer very niche areas like maritime law, then maritime with commercial law. We also have oil, gas, and renewable energy. And legal practice and advanced drafting. So very, very niche and good portfolio of LLM courses available at the university. We also offer MAs in cybercrime, terrorism, global challenges. We also offer conversion professional courses in law, which is graduate diploma in law, and legal practice course, if students are interested in then going on to practice in the UK as a lawyer. Arts and humanities, range of courses, media communication, journalism, language, TESOL, education, also human rights, security, international relations, politics and public policy. Healthcare, one of the largest departments at teaching department at the university. So we offer courses in healthcare management, public health, health informatics, psychology, and biosciences. In terms of employability, as I shared earlier, we are top 5 in the UK as per the Guardian University League Table 2020. That is the latest ranking. In terms of employability, we have very good industrial partnerships, industrial connections. As you can see, some of the names on the screen: Sony, Tata, Fujitsu, Siemens, Rolls-Royce. We have almost 40 partners co-located on our campuses. For example, Rolls-Royce is co-located on our Bay campus. So similarly, we have different industrial partners co-located on our campus and also working remotely with them on various areas. We've got a lot of awards for our employability efforts that we have done for our students and how we score among them, which you can see on the screen. These are some more organizations we work with. We work with more than 3,000 different organizations and businesses across 100 countries. So it's not only limited to UK. We work with organizations across the world. Scholarships, we offer a range of scholarships for our students. So we have a guaranteed £3,000 scholarship, which is available to students, which is called a Thrive Bursary, which is available to students. If you apply to us and if you're given an offer for the program, then you will definitely get a £3,000 scholarship. Then there are merit-based scholarships, which is called IDEO Excellence Scholarship, which amounts to £6,000 for undergraduate and £4,000 for postgraduate. We have School of Management scholarships, which amount up to £6,000 to £7,000. And then MBA, which we have launched this year. We have scholarships. We have a full fee scholarship and partial scholarships for MBA program as well. Thank you so much. I'm happy to take any questions that you have, and you can see my contact details on the screen. So if you wish to get in touch with me later, you can do that. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes, Joher. So if you can actually, introduce yourself and your role and what would you like to say to the view.
Yes, sure. Hello, everyone. My name is Zohair Al-Junaim. I'm based in Riyadh. I'm looking after the Riyadh office, which is TCF Global in Riyadh. We've been established, the Riyadh office was established in around 2015, and we're looking after Saudi students or local students in here. And my role just to help students to obtain offers from universities, over 40 plus universities around the UK. So we've been helping students since then. So we have lots of partner universities and we have very good relations with them. So that's what we do.
Okay, thank you, Joher. So Sweta, especially for the South Asia, I can see that, and also for the Middle East, that the foundation, the 4 years integrated CAS, it seems like very popular as well. So student doesn't need to go back after the foundation, finishing the foundation. So how many intakes we have for the foundation for the insurance?
Foundation is through Navitas. So whatever Navitas intakes are, I think there are about 3 or 4 intakes in a year that Navitas has. So it's completely through Navitas. So we have, the Navitas, the college Navitas, the college Swansea is located on the Bay campus. So students who take on a foundation year entry into the college Navitas, they will actually be studying with other Swansea University students on our campus, because the college building is located on the Bay campus. So it's a very easy transition for them. When they finish their foundation year and they, kind of join the full program, they still will be in the same environment because they're already studying with those students and using the facilities which are there for Swansea University students.
Okay. We have been working a quite long time with Swansea University, and we have sent good number of students. Maybe Joher you can tell, because in most of the students Joher in contract, like we good number of students from the Saudi. How is the feedback from students studying the Swansea?
It's great, to be honest. I personally visited Swansea as well. So the campus, Shweta, as you mentioned, is breathtaking. It's beautiful. It's amazing, and it has everything that you need. And also, it looks like it's all in one place, and it's not scattered everywhere. So it's easy access to all students. So the people there as well, they are very friendly. So it's the same environment for all the Saudi students and other students. I think you would find it very beautiful and attractive. And for our Saudi students, we have, I think, from my side, maybe 4 to 5 students. They currently study in the UK and they joined last year. And they given me very good feedback, and one of them, and I think three of them, I think they have joined postgraduate healthcare management. So they really like the course, and obviously healthcare management is we're receiving quite high demand and for last year. Obviously, the Ministry of Health, Saudi Ministry of Health, they are sending the Saudi students to study these postgraduate courses, and to obviously gain that experience and knowledge, and to come back to their old jobs and they proceed in their career. So they found it very, very, very good, and some of them took their own family there, and as I mentioned earlier, it's a very safe environment, so that they are very happy to take their family with them and to stay with them in Swansea as well. So so it's a great place to be.
Okay, thank you very much, Joher. So So for the UG undergraduate application, also undergraduate application is very placement year or study abroad, and the process for applying is like a UCAS or direct application. So
Undergraduate students can apply directly. They can apply through UCAS, but it is not limited to UCAS. They can also make direct application through our online apply system. They can make applications through you. So I would advise students to get in touch with you to make their applications, to make sure that all the documentation is correct. And in terms of the placement here, our courses in management, engineering, computer sciences, and the College of Sciences programs, a lot of biosciences courses as well, have the option to do a placement year or a study abroad year should the student wishes to do that. So when they apply for the course, they have to mention if they would like to go for that program and accordingly make their application. But that option is available for students, undergraduate students. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Yes, viewers who actually joined us from Bangladesh and also Middle East and Africa, you can contact our team. Our team can actually help you about the application process with the Swansea University. We are the official partner with the Swansea University. We have been working for more than 5 years with the Swansea University. So our colleague actually working from home at the moment. You can reach them through WhatsApp or through email. You can find our details in our website and also in our social page. So please contact our counselor. Our counselor can help you with your applications. As Sweta said, that undergraduate application, postgraduate application, and other application is open as it is. So the university accepting your application, so we can apply for you. And also, I want to announce that June and July months, we are actually announcing, we are arranging a virtual fair with the Swansea University. So you'll have an opportunity to connect with the Sweta. We will be opportunity to speak with the Swansea University, one-to-one session through our Zoom platform. So please contact our team in South Asia. If someone actually wants to connect, maybe we'll connect with the colleague from the Swansea, the responsible of the Middle East market. You will have opportunity to connect with them as well, to one-to-one session. So, Joher, from you, any question to Sweta, in general, that is every student is important, yeah?
Yes, obviously, you mentioned earlier regarding the lockdown and how the process, but Sweta thankfully cleared this out. So I just wanted to ask about the pre-sessional courses for obviously Middle Eastern students. They most of them, they don't have high IELTS scores, so they join directly to the main course. So what my question is, the minimum entry for the pre-sessional courses at Swansea University.
So there are different requirements for different courses. It depends upon their score, and also we are also conducting our own English language test, which is called Swansea English Language Test, which we are offering free of cost for the first time to all our students who hold a conditional offer based on IELTS or an English language test. So I would request students, if they currently hold an offer from the university and the condition to clear an English language test, then I would suggest them to come back to us and let us know that they would like to take up a SWELT test. The next test is on the 18th of May. So they can register for the test and they can appear for it. If they meet the entry requirements, then they will be, given an unconditional offer.
So
the same pattern as IELTS. So they have to just prepare the way they prepare for IELTS.
I see. So this test will be like taken online, or will it be physical? They have to come to the university. Yes.
It's an online test. We are currently offering it's online, free of cost for the first time. Yeah.
Okay, this is very good. This is a very good option, I think, for the business students. So.
Yeah, I think it's really good options for this. So the viewers, please contact our team. If you are based in Bangladesh, they can actually help you with the further information, with the link. And as Sweta says, it's completely free of charge. I think it's a good opportunity. The team also, if you are based, sorry, Sweta.
I just wanted to add in terms of English, we are also taking some external tests. We are taking them now. So IELTS Indicator and Total IBP home-based test is also now considered for a direct entry. And if a student is looking for pre-sessional, then we are happy to accept Duolingo scores as well. So Duolingo is only acceptable for pre-sessional, and IELTS Indicator and TOEFL home base is acceptable for a direct entry.
Direct entry, I see. So that means the UKBI used to be the test for the foundation as well as for the professional. So the Duolingo as well.
Yeah. Yes, I think so. Yeah. Plus 12 is always there.
Yeah, I think it's a great, I think it's development, especially in the Middle East market, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yes, it's a huge opportunity for the Saudi students to take this test and join whenever this pandemic ends or has been sorted out. So it's
they don't need to go to because every IELTS test center in the Saudi Arabia and in Bangladesh everywhere is
closed. Yeah, exactly. Yes.
From their home. Yeah, I think it's a really good development. Actually, yeah, definitely, it's a really good. So I think for your presentation, we slightly also covered the master's level courses as well. The master's level we covered. There is some courses are 2 years with the placements. So master's level courses is the scholarship. Just to make a little bit clarify to everyone, the scholarship for the undergraduate, masters, and PhD, or just for certain levels, Sweta?
So the scholarship is for undergraduate and postgraduate taught courses, not for the PhD program. Okay. And also I would like to add about the management courses. I've talked about the engineering courses wherein there is a 1+1, like a 2-year program. With our management courses, so we have MSc management at the postgraduate level, wherein so the 1-year course is divided into 3 semesters. The first 2 semesters are taught semesters, and the final semester is when students write their dissertation. So in this MSc management course, they can either write their dissertation or they can do a 3-month work-based project. Now, again, that is not guaranteed, but we do help students to find a project, and they can find it themselves as well. They can take help from the careers and employability team. So it's completely depending whether they are able to find the project, then they will do that 3 months work-based project and produce a report on that. If not, then they'll do the dissertation. Now, there's one program called MSc Strategic Marketing, wherein that project is guaranteed. So for MSc Management, it's optional. For MSc Strategic Marketing, it's guaranteed.
Okay. Also, back to the English, the test and other acceptance. The some of the university also considering MOI. So studying at the English medium or like a bachelor from the recognized university where the medium instruction was English. So is the Swansea University accepting this for certain university or certain country?
We will look at applications on a case-to-case basis. It's very difficult to say. We don't completely negate it, but we are. I can't just say for everybody. It's not a blanket process that we have wherein we'll accept anybody who has an MOI. We'll have to look at a lot of other things about the application, and then we should be able to decide on a case-to-case basis. But currently, what we are encouraging our students is to, if they are not meeting the entry requirements or if they're not able to get into the English language testing, IELTS and everything, they can always take our test, our English language test. And I feel it is really good for students because they also know that their level of English is at par what is required even when they want to study at the university. Because if they're not able to cope up with the level of English, if they're not able to communicate, if they're not able to understand, it would be very difficult for them to, enjoy the time that they have at the university and also take full advantage of the teaching and learning that is being given to them. So I would suggest it's very, very useful for any university that they want to go. It is really useful to have the right level of English to be able to gain the maximum when they are at the university.
Okay, we have seen the recent month or recent year, lots of a graduate from the US, especially the Kuwaiti and Saudi that who went to Australia, Canada, and USA. They're finishing their undergraduate. So I think they don't need the IELTS if they have graduated from the foreign institution.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. So in that case, the lots of students, especially Johair, who are graduated from the
yes, the US or Canada as well. So happened in Canada like last year. Some of students had to return back to Saudi, so they didn't finish their degrees, so they were like in almost the final year, but they couldn't finish the year. So this is the question. If they are undergraduate, this is the main problem. Some universities, they have to, like, the students have to finish the degree in order to not consider the English, or if he studied in an English-speaking country. So for students who graduated, let's say, from the US, and they didn't finish the last year, can they come to Swansea University without needing the IELTS? So this is some of the cases that we see.
I'm not too sure if they haven't finished their degree, then what will be the scenario, because that we will again have to look at it on a case basis. But somebody who's completed the full degree in an English-speaking country, I think that can be taken into consideration when we are deciding whether we require an English language test for that student or not. But I can't really comment on if they haven't really completed their degree.
Also, especially in South Asia, in Bangladesh, we have seen that, especially PhD, lots of students come to our office, even in the Middle East as well, sponsored student. They ask for the standard process for applying PhD, and especially we have seen that even for Bangladesh, some of the government is sponsored as well. So they asked whether they should contact directly to the supervisors, or should they go to the normal like a process, So what would be your advice on that, for the PhD student?
So PhD program, it's always advisable to write a research proposal to an advisor first. And if the supervisor agrees to, mentor them for the PhD, then they make their application. So it's a good way that they go onto the university's website, see what kind of research areas that are happening at the university, and what are academics involved in, and then make the research proposal accordingly. So if they come out with something which is not happening at the university, it's very unlikely that we'll start it just because one student wants to, do that research in that area. The university will not have the capacity and the infrastructure to do that. But if something is already happening and the student's research area is basically supporting that current research or adding value to that current research, then it may be considered. So again, it depends upon academic to academic. If they feel that, yes, this student can add value to my current research and this will be really, good to take them on board, then they would agree to supervise. As you said, there would be government-sponsored, students for PhD. In the UK, getting a fully funded PhD is very, very difficult because usually they're not there. So if students are funded, they have slightly better chances to get accepted on a PhD program, or if they're self-funded. But to get a fully funded PhD scholarship is very, very difficult at the UK university.
Joher, any question from you?
Yes, regarding the sponsorship that Mr. Mohammed mentioned earlier, if like a sponsor student pay the deposit like for the any course, let's say undergraduate or postgraduate, and they obtained the sponsorship letter later on. So they then paid the deposit from their own money, from pockets, and then they arranged the sponsorship letter afterwards. So will this deposit will be returned back to the student, or will it be kept by the university for maybe to add up to whatever expenses?
So I think, if it should be, I'm not 100% sure. I would suggest you to maybe to admissions or maybe check with Mohammed. But yes, if the student is paying everything towards, if they are getting sponsored, if they're getting a scholarship, if they're fully paid, includes their tuition fee and the expenses, I believe the university will refund the money.
Okay, I see. Okay, great.
But I would suggest you to maybe write to admissions to that.
About accommodation, the options, so if we can a little bit tell our viewers who joined our live session today about the accommodation option
Accommodations, as I said, we are a campus-based university. We have accommodations on both the campuses, there are different kind of accommodations. There are shared accommodations, on-suite accommodations, studio apartments. It depends upon what kind of accommodation the student is interested in, and accordingly they can apply for that. There are also, apart from the accommodations which are there on university campuses, there are accommodations, private accommodations within the city as well. So it is mainly for postgraduate students, because for undergraduate, at least for the first year, we always advise the students to stay on university accommodation for year one. And then after, once they're familiar with the city, then they can move out and stay at the private accommodation. But for postgraduate students, it's completely their choice. They want to stay on campus or off campus. We also have a list of private landlords on our website. So we always advise our students, if they're looking for a private accommodation, they should go to that listing, because these accommodations and these private landlords are in touch with our student services, and they're usually inspected on a regular basis. So just because they shouldn't be duped later on, if they look at the internet and then when they land up in realize that it's not the same. So we ensure that students are not, malhandled by landlords, and that is why we have these private landlords listed, private accommodations listed on our website. Yeah.
Okay. So, what is the minimum deposit payment to receive cash?
It's £2,000. £2,000.
And there will be then the installment payment system. The tuition fee student can pay by the installment.
Yes. So they can pay 50% at the time of enrollment, and then rest of the 50% can pay it in next two installments. 2 more installments. Yes.
Okay. As you know that the Swansea got the September intake, is there any plan or in place for the January intake?
I think currently it's very difficult to say looking at the situation. Currently, I think the university is concentrating on making sure that the September session happens. And if we are not able to start it in September because of the pandemic, if it gets delayed, then we are able to start it in maybe October or November, or the latest by January. So currently, it's very difficult to say in terms of, there were plans, but right now I think everybody is looking at the current situation and trying to make sure that we're able to make September happen as scheduled.
Yeah, especially Swansea, we have seen that the late enrollment is the 15th of October in normal situation, normally.
Yes.
So,
yes.
So if it is a little bit because of the situation, I think hopefully there would be a better option for the students, the little bit late enrollment, based on the current situation.
When I'm saying we're looking at slightly delaying our contract, our intake, that means instead of, if we know that, the borders are closed or the visas are taking time because everything is delayed, or even the, exam results in their home countries is delayed because of current lockdown, we will actually plan accordingly, and that is why we are keeping a close watch on the situation, and we will take our decision keeping all this in mind. And we will give students the opportunity to maybe arrive a little late. So those are all options which are currently considered. And once the university kind of has a concrete decision on how they would like to do it, that will be available for students' information.
Okay. And back on your back, I can see that the tape gold, Swansea, I think it would be nice to explain to the students, so what is the gold status means, Okay.
So I also talked about it in the beginning of my presentation. So TEF Gold is a teaching excellence framework which rates universities on the basis of their teaching and how good they are at that. So there are 3 levels of rating, which is bronze, silver and gold, which is the gold is the highest rating, and Swansea University has been awarded a gold rating because of our teaching excellence.
Okay, so yeah. Any idea how many universities in the Wales got the gold rated?
I don't know. I don't remember at the top of my head right now.
Okay. Yeah. So you can take some question, Sweta, that I want to know about the actuarial science BSc honors Swansea.
Actuarial sciences?
Yeah.
So BSc Actuarial Science as I said, it's like a 3-year program. It deals with actuary subject area if you want to kind of gain that professional qualification later on when you finish the program and become an actuary. So, as I said, you need to make an application if you're looking to apply for this program. We are looking at about 70 to 75% from Pradesh board at the in the 12th level.
Okay. Thank you very much, Risit. You can actually contact our colleagues based in Bangladesh. Our colleagues actually provide you more information about this course. Also, we got another question: how much accommodation and Swansea University? We slightly should cover, but we can repeat it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so accommodation, as I said, we have on-campus accommodation and we have private accommodation outside the campus as well. It completely is students' choice whether they would like to stay on campus or they want to stay on a private accommodation outside the campus. We have different kinds of accommodation. So there are shared accommodations which are cheapest, you can say, and then there are studio apartments and also en-suite accommodation which are a little more expensive. When you stay in a shared accommodation, there are like you share common areas like washrooms and living area, kitchen. These are shared, and then you have your own rooms. If you stay in an ensuite, then everything is available. It's like a private flat. And when you stay in a studio apartment, then you have your washrooms inside attached to your room, and then you have the shared areas like kitchen and living area.
We've got other questions. What about upcoming intake? Or what do you think the classes will be held on time or any other plans from the university?
Yeah, so I think we talked about that also. Again, it depends upon how the pandemic is, whether it is controlled. If it is controlled in the coming months, we definitely plan to start our intake as scheduled in September. And if not, we are looking at the options wherein we can, delay the intake by a couple of weeks or maybe a month or two.
Okay. Hello, viewers. Please contact our team. Myself, based in Portsmouth, UK. You can contact myself if you're based in UK, and if you're based in Bangladesh, you can contact our team in Dhaka office and Sylhet office. And they will be happy to assist you. And also the viewers who joined us from Saudi Arabia, Joher Al-Janim is our country director based in Riyadh office. You can contact him for the further information, as well as the viewers who joined from the Kuwait. You can contact our Kuwait office. Our Kuwait office can actually help you with the application process. So all our offices actually offering this counseling service completely free of charge. And TCL Global actually serving students since 2011. And we are official partner of 70 UK University. We are closely working with the Swansea University over 5 years, and we have seen good number of students. We have a very positive feedback from this, from the students who is studied and who is studying at the moment. So we can apply for you. As I said earlier, that we are arranging virtual fair in June and July month. So you will have an opportunity to connect with Soita and the colleagues from Middle East, from Swansea University. So you'll have opportunity to directly contact and speak to our colleagues. So please contact our team, and you can follow us in our TCL Global Bangladesh page, TCL Global Middle East page, TCL Global North Africa, and TCL Global UK page. And yes, so anything that we haven't touched that you want to add here?
I think it's spoken pretty much about everything, but yes, I would just like to say again that students who are interested, please make your applications for the program so that most of your application process is done, and you have your offer in hand. You know what conditions you need to fulfill, so that as soon as the lockdown opens up, you're able to fulfill those conditions and get your unconditional offer, get your CAS, and are able to apply for your visa. So if you start now, it will not delay your application on the later date. So it's better to start early than to wait for the lockdown to open and then everybody applying at the same time and causing a delay in your application. If you start early, that is always good.
Okay. Joher, you want to say something for the Saudi students, yeah? Please.
Yes. I mean, for our Saudi students, we would like to obviously welcome them to apply through us or and joining us with the virtual fair that we will be held in June. And we'll be very much happy to help you and to guide you through your future studies.
Okay. And also, you can find the Joher, our Saudi office details in our website where you can connect. And if you want to, after the lockdown, if you want to visit our office, you can visit our Riyadh office.
Most definitely, yes.
So I think pretty much we cover anything else from the Sweta from you?
That's it. Thank you so much for organizing this. And
Okay.
yes, so during the fairs which you're organizing in coming months, if
Yeah.
students are interested, if they want to know more, if they want to talk to me about any of their interest areas, subject areas, about the university, about the scholarships, anything that they would want to know, they can always connect. So I would really encourage them to register for your online events and come and talk to us.
Yes, definitely. And dear viewers, my team, I have a dedicated team based in Portsmouth. So any students actually coming from South Asia and Middle East, North Africa, we have a dedicated team to look after you from airport transfer to accommodation, the settling in UK. So we can definitely help you, and also our counselor based in locally is there to help you as well. So our service is completely free of charge, and we have been working in the industry for 9 years now. So please feel free to get in touch with our colleagues in different offices, and hope to see you in our virtual fair in June and July month. So you'll have an opportunity to connect with the university if you have any questions, and also our university colleague will be able to tell you and give you the right advice. Thank you very much for joining us today. Final few words for the audience. Sweta, anything?
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for taking out the time. And please be in touch if you have any questions. Please write to me. You have my contact details as well. And please get in touch with TCL Global in terms of making your application. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Joher, from you?
Yes, thank you very much, dear viewers, for taking the time, and it was very nice experience to obviously have you joining us, and hopefully we will see you in June and July in the virtual fair. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.